Hi everyone, my name is Livnat. I'm from South Africa. I work in Johannesburg and I work for the Israel Center. I'm a Masa representative in South Africa. And thank you all for joining us today. We're going to hear a little bit about Masa students' life and what is it like, what is the experience like being a student. We have a great guest with us today. We've got Bar Ilan, we've got IDC, Hebrew U, Tel Aviv University. We've got Telfed with us as well. Thank you for joining us. And I wonder if we should start with Telfed, with Simone. Simone Picas. She's the administrator of the PRAS and the SASSI Scholarship Program.
Yeah, thank you, Livnat. Hi.
Hi.
Nice to see you all. Stephanie asked something. I don't know if you all got a chance to hear it, but I'm going to explain a little bit about the scholarships that Telfed provides. But first, before we do that, I'm going to invite Doron Klein to say a few words about Telfed itself. And then I'll go straight and dive into the scholarship side. Go on. Okay, then never mind. Then I'll continue from here. Telfed offers three different scholarships. There's two different ways to go about it. One way is as an ole to make aliyah. And if
sorry to interrupt. Can I ask everybody just to mute themselves, just so that we can hear Simone, please? Thank you.
There's two scholarships for Olim that Telfed offers. So if a student decides to make aliyah before he comes to Israel or right before he starts studying, he's eligible to apply to both of the scholarships. One is called PRAS, which is a volunteering scholarship, and that's for 5,500 shekels. So, and we give priority obviously to South Africans, but it's open for anybody that wants to volunteer 3 hours a week in the PRAS volunteering program. Then we have the financial need scholarship, and that's anywhere between, now it's changing. It might be, we're doing a few changes, but it can possibly be around, for really, really needy students, it could be around it can go up to 3,800 shekels. So anywhere between 1,000 to 3,800. But we didn't finalize, but that's more or less. So you can do around 9,000 to 10,000 shekels if you qualify as a financial needs scholarship a student, and also volunteering in the PRAS program. There's a different direction to go about it, and that's for students that are not sure to make aliyah yet, students that are interested first to check out Israel before they decide to make that decision. There is the SASSI program, but unfortunately we have closed registration because we have a limited number of students that we can accept per year. And that's based on obviously donations from the generous donors, the Samson family. But now we have 17 new applicants, and we're going over their applications from all over the country. We have students from the Technion and from Tel Aviv University and from Bar Ilan and IDC. And just so you guys know about that we will reopen for the academic year of 2021 and 22 in July of 21. So that's only for international students. That's not for Olim. And we do encourage them to make already Aliyah in their second year, because that way they can subsidize somehow with the help of the government as well, and us their tuition. and their living expenses here in Israel. If we were able to bring 100 students per year, then we would do that. Fortunately, it's based on budget, obviously, but it is important to let them know about this and to inform them about the opportunities. And obviously, they're welcome to contact me. My information is in the website at telfid.org.il. And if you go, it's so simple. If you just go to the student section, you'll see there the scholarships, and there's 3 different scholarships. They can qualify if they're Olim for 2 of them, and if they're not, for SASI, obviously now it's closed, but yeah. So that's kind of, if you guys have any questions, then let me know and I'll be gladly to answer them.
If I may, can you hear me?
When you're here, okay. I opened for you and then, yeah, and then I missed you.
I add just a few points. So one of the great achievements of the SASI program was that we went to all the English-speaking academic institutions in Israel. And we went with a simple message that we learned from South Africa. We went with a message that fees must fall. And that message was heard in Israel. And the first ones really to react positively were the IDC, and which gave, based on need, significant reductions in tuition to South African students. But all the academic institutions that offer English-speaking degrees followed suit, and there are amazing reductions in fees for South African students that you should take advantage of. You'll be hearing soon from Bar Ilan and also from Tel Aviv University. I see that are with us tonight about really massive reductions in tuition fees that make it much more affordable. So I see that as a very big achievement of the SASI program, making tuition more affordable for South Africans who come to study in Israel. And if you look at the PRUS program that Simon spoke about, where you volunteer and do 3 hours of community service a week, and the scholarship on financial need, you'll be getting both of those scholarships that if you do make aliyah, so that can be 9,000 shekels, which is, if you're looking at tuition fees, talking about regular Israeli tuition fees, that could be 9,000 shekels out of 13,000 shekels, a significant amount. And you should all remember that if you do make aliyah, that regular university fees are paid for. If you go into a government university, then those your tuition is paid for. So it can be, then your scholarship based on financial need will have a real big impact in helping you to afford dorms or everything else that you need. And just that you know, to finish off, Telfid is here as the organization in Israel since 1948, looking after Southern Africans who come to Israel, whether you come in here as a tourist or whether you come in here as an Oleh, with a Klita advisor to help you plan your aliyah, army service, assistance, in the whole process, events, volunteerism. We're the only Oleh organization that provides housing, 105 apartments in Tel Aviv and Ra'anana at subsidized rentals, employment advice, how to get a job. So there's really a lot of services, and please utilize the Telfid office and be in touch via Simon, and Simon can direct you to whoever is the correct staff member. But utilize us. We're here to help. We're here to make Israel a positive experience for you, and to make it part of your future, and to join the Jewish people in Zion. So utilize us and make Telfid part of your life in Israel, and join the Telfid family. So toda rabah to the Israel Center for affording us this opportunity to speak to you all.
Thank you.
Thanks, Doron. If I just can say one more thing. So registration to PROS and the financial needs scholarship at Telfid will open on July 1st, and it's an online application through the website. So if
Simon,
you know of anyone.
Will you just put the details on the chat for everybody? That would be fantastic.
Sure, I'm going to do that right now.
Thank you so much. Thank you,
Thank
Doron.
you.
Thank you, Simon. I appreciate it.
Sure.
I just wanted to mention before we go ahead and hear from the universities, we also offer Masa grants up to $9,100 towards your studies, your tuition per year. And you can actually take the Masa grant and the SASSI scholarship and put it together. And so they both work together, which is great. SASSI and Israel Center in Masa, we both all work together. I will post some details about that as well. And I think that we can start with Bar Ilan. Is Alita Pitaru with us here today, the Director of Academic Administration of the Israel Experience. And she's also the coordinator of the Masa program at Bar Ilan University.
Hi everyone, good afternoon.
Hi Alita.
So as Livnat said, I work with the Israel XP, the gap year at Bar Ilan, and we're a program we're going to start this year due to the corona. We don't know if the world close the sky, will not close the sky. We're starting this year on the 2nd of September. The program is an 8-month program per semester. In the morning is Jewish studies, in the afternoon is secular classes, biology, psychology, Jewish identity, and every evening there's different activities. Every Sunday there's a trip throughout Israel, the different community Shabbatonim, weekends. The students can do a Mada, but I think pictures are sometimes better than words, so I want to show you a video of our program. Just a second, please. I have Yael who's helping me a lot.
רגע, שנייה. אני מקווה, איך אני יודעת? אוקיי, from beginning.
השם
Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed it. In addition to the Israel experience, we have a Barayanu to the Mechina program, that's a pre-academic program. They have 2 sessions. They have 1 session that starts in August.
Sorry. Okay. Yes. You can continue.
Sorry. We have 2 sessions with the Mechina. One starts in August, and the other starts in February. The classes are pre-academic and summer academic. I will give more information on the chat about the Mechina program. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much. Now I would like to call up Stephanie Miller. She is the head of administration of Rafael Recanati International School in South Africa, representative of the IDC, and Jonathan Davis is the vice president of the external relation at the IDC and the head of Rafael Recanati International School. Hello, Stephanie.
You're on mute. Can't hear you.
Can you hear me now, Stephanie?
I can hear you. I can't hear Jonathan because he's on mute.
Aye.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Can hear you now.
Okay, terrific.
Thank you.
So we're gonna do our 7-minute presentation as quickly as possible. First of all, from an ideological point of view, IDC Herzliya we call ourselves a Zionist university. 24 hours ago, we declared ourselves as a university in Israel, and we will now be called the Reichman University at Herzliya, okay? Because we now are granting 3 PhD programs, and so we are therefore, from now on, a research university and no longer a college. That's number one. Number two, we built IDC Herzliya as Israel's first private and non-profit university. We pride ourselves on not taking any government assistance for anything that takes place at IDC, with the exception of assistance the government might give to Olim, but to nothing else. So everything you see at IDC, every building, everything you see taught there, okay, was made in IDC and was supported by our tuition and by our donors. We believe in being entrepreneurs. We believe in innovation. We teach business and economics. We teach business and entrepreneurship. We teach computer science and entrepreneurship. We teach psychology, communications, government and sustainability. And we have MBA programs, graduate programs galore. I'm not going to go into every single one of them. It's very simple. Just go into our website and you can see all of them. We kind of have a critical mass of South Africans on campus. We have 80 students on campus presently, and we have another 45 applicants right now in South Africa who are going through the process of acceptance and registration and confirmation and everything else. We seem to see a pretty big increase from South Africa right now. We are a program which is for 3 years. We recommend that you come for 3 years and do an academic degree at IDC Herzliya. So we would like to compete with Stellenbosch and with UCT. We would like to compete with Wits. We'd like to compete with Grahamstown, you name it, with Pretoria, whatever South Africa has to offer. We would like to compete with it and to defeat it, and for you to come and study with us. You should also know that as far as international schools are concerned, 40% of all of the students in Israel who are international students and study for full degrees study at IDC for degrees, in spite of the fact that the population of IDC is 1% of the students in Israel. 40% of the students in Israel who are international students studying for full degrees study with us. So this is something which we have perfected to a great extent. As far as bursaries are concerned, we take a look. First of all, if you happen to be an outstanding student, not like what I was in high school, but if you happen to be an outstanding student, not like I was, but if you were an outstanding student in high school and you did really, really well in your matric, like all A's and stuff like that, you might qualify for a 50% bursary off the cuff. okay, due to academic excellence. That's number one. Number two, I highly recommend that you take the Masa scholarship, okay? In your first year, IDC will do all it can to supplement the rest of the money so that you hardly have to pay anything for a degree. That's my recommendation. My recommendation is in the second year, if you can, change your status. Although we can't tell you that you must change your status, this would be my recommendation. With the RAND being what it is today, it's almost foolish not to change your status in the second year and make good of the basket of assistance, which is around $4,500 and almost $3,000 towards your tuition. I would make good of those, and IDC will continue to give you a scholarship and possibly TELFED whatever they can afford to give you, okay? We will look at each student as a personalized profile. We will take a look and see where you live in South Africa. We will take a look and see what cars your parents drive in South Africa. We will take a look and see how many homes you own in South Africa or in Israel. And we will take a look at your socioeconomic profile. Someone that, by the way, most of the people who come to us from South Africa do not need socioeconomic scholarships. So we're getting all kinds of different profiles here. Those who do need scholarships, we will kill ourselves to get you a scholarship. And I travel around the world and raise tens of thousands and hundreds of thousands of dollars towards scholarships. And I will gladly grant those scholarships to deserving students from South Africa. But once more, if you own 4 homes, if you travel outside of South Africa 5 times a year because you want to see a concert in London, we take a look at those things. Of course, during coronavirus, the ANC didn't let you travel out of South Africa. So you couldn't go to any concerts. But assuming when they allow people to come back, I should mention that the extracurricular activities at IDC Herzliya very much resemble an American university. We have a debating team. We have a Model United Nations. We have an entrepreneurship club. We have sports teams, which are competitive. So all of the things that you would like to do on campus, you can do on campus. If you happen to be an observant Jew, we've got Yiddishkeit on campus. We have Shachrit every day on campus, Mincha every day on campus, Marv every day on campus. We have a rabbi on campus who gives 3 shiurim every week. He happens to be of the Mizrahi JLIC movement, which is basically, we're a Zionist organization. So you will find Zionists working with us. You will not find anti-Zionists working with us. You will only find Zionists working with us on the extracurricular activities. That's the way we are, okay? And I would also say that we have Friday night meals, we have Shabbatonim, and we have a lot of marriages taking place at IDC Herzliya, by the way, as well, of people who come from South Africa and marry some Belgian person, okay? So like, we will have next year about 100 plus South Africans on campus, but we will also have 40 Belgians, and we will have 200 French students. We will have 600 American students. We'll have 200 from Latin America. We'll have 60 Brits on campus. We will have close to 50 Swiss people on campus. We will have 60 Italians on campus. We'll have also a whole bunch of Israelis on campus. By the way, amongst the 2,000 students in the international school are also 300 former lone soldiers. And a number of those former lone soldiers, by the way, happen to be of South African background. So some of the students joining us are 21 years old for their BA who are of South African background. I would say this, I will give you my email address. I will give it to you slowly. And anyone who sends me a personalized email, they will get an answer very, very quickly. So my name is Jonathan Davis, even though it says that I'm Stephanie Miller. We do believe in egalitarian gender stuff on campus, so it's okay if someone wants to call me a woman. I would be accepted on campus even if someone called me a woman, because we believe in egalitarianism, so that's fine. We're pluralistic, Zionist, entrepreneurial, and patriotic at the same time. So the long and the short of it is, my email address is Jonathan, JONATHAN, D as in Davis, Strudel as they say in Israel, which means at idc.ac.il. Send me an email and fine. Stephanie, did I leave anything out?
Just the trick.
Oh yeah,
Yes,
one really important thing to mention, no psychometric exams at IDC Herzliya, okay? we believe that the South African matric, okay, is strong enough to get you into Oxford or Cambridge or into the Sorbonne, okay, or into a great American university, okay. Of course, the American universities make you take the SATs. We will not make you take anything you don't need to take in South Africa to get into a good South African university. So you will be accepted into IDC Herzliya purely based on your matric, period. We don't feel we need to give extra business to the people who do the psychometric exams in Israel. I believe the psychometric exams to a great extent are bullshit. I think they're culturally biased. And I think that when a South African takes a psychometric exam in Israel, the chances of them getting the same results as an Israeli who finished high school in Israel and served 3 years in the IDF, the chances of that kid from King David or from Herzliya or from a public high school in South Africa getting a good psychometric mark is useless. It's for shit, okay? And so therefore, we don't believe in that crap, okay? And so therefore, if you're good enough to get into an honors program at UCT or WITS, why the hell would I want to make you take a psychometric exam just because I can be the bureaucrat of the year? So no psychometrics for us. And if the psychometric people want to sue me, tough luck, sue me, because I've just spoken to a whole bunch of people on Zoom. Anything else I left out, Stephanie?
No.
Okay, guys, next is the Hebrew University, right? Hebrew U, my alma mater. I'm a graduate of the Hebrew U and proud of it.
Hi, everyone. Hi,
Thank
JP,
you.
Stephanie, Doron, Livnat.
Hi.
How you doing, guys?
Good.
I felt right at home. Hi, I'm Mimi Laufer, and I'm the development manager at the Hebrew U, and I'm really happy to be here today. I'm going to join Jonathan with his recommendation for you guys to come first year as Masa, and then you can decide second, third year what you want to do. Today I'm going to talk a bit about the Hebrew U, why Jerusalem, what we have to offer, and I'm going to let Leah, our student who did the Mechina and now studying in Rehovot, tell her experience, because I believe that it's much more interesting to hear Leah than to hear me yap along. But what's important to know is that the Hebrew University is in the top 100 best universities in the world. And that is something that Israel is extremely proud of. And again, as Jonathan said, Zionistic reasons, it's very important for you guys to come spend a meaningful time in Israel and choose the best choice for you wherever you go. I'm also hooking on to what Doron said. We have a Mechina program, the preparatory Mechina program. The tuition of it is equivalent to the amount that Masa will give you. So basically for South African students, the Mechina is free. Now the idea of the Mechina is that you come to Israel, you spend a year, you study in Hebrew, in the Hebrew University, you experience living in Jerusalem, which is special and cultural and spiritual. You get your Hebrew up to the level of 6, which is the highest level, and then you can choose. You can choose to do your first degree in English in any of the academic institutions in Israel. These academic institutions in Israel are amazing. Or you can choose to study first degree in Hebrew if you want to do it in the Hebrew University. We do offer study abroad programs for a semester or a year in English for first and second degree. We offer over 40 graduate degrees offered in English, and the Hebrew University is #1 in the country for their foreign students, international students in PhD and post-PhD, in postdoc. We have 6 campuses, 3 of them in Jerusalem. One of them is the medicine school. The other one is Safra, which is the sciences school. And the main one is in Har HaTzofim, Mount Scopus, where we have over 839 programs for you guys. Next year, if you come for study abroad, you will be honored to choose programs like a full semester with Yuval Noah Harari, who only sold 60 million copies of his books and is one of the most famous people that Israel has to brag about. And you can do study abroad for a semester, you can do it for a year, you can choose to study in Hebrew for numerous amount of different degrees. It's worth going onto the website and checking out anything and everything you're interested in. The preparatory course will get you ready for that. So that's instead of maybe going for a gap year or staying home, or it's a possibility and it's a good one. And then if you choose to stay in Israel, live in Israel, even make Aliyah, join the army, it's up to you, and do your first degree. If you want to continue an academic life and you want to do a graduate degree, then Hebrew U has the largest amount of different programs for graduate degrees. And I highly recommend you guys, first of all, come and see the campus. It's beautiful. It's amazing. You can see on one hand the old city. On the other hand, you see the Dead Sea. Come to my office. I promise you really good coffee, an amazing view. The team is really warm. We take care of our students. We have a student village, so the dorms are pretty cool. And it's fun to live in Jerusalem. I always say, come to Jerusalem to study and spend your weekends in Tel Aviv or in Herzliya or on the beach, wherever you want. But it's a special place. And I want to introduce Leah, and I want Leah to tell you all about her experience. I'm going to leave all my details here. Feel free, write to me. We have a whole info center contact, which will take care of you 24/7. I highly recommend just come visit, or, well, it's a bit hard right now, but check us out, be in contact, and whatever you do, בהצלחה, and לשנה הבאה בירושלים. Leah, the floor is yours.
Hi, I'm Leah. I attended the Mechina in 2017. I finished matric at Crawford Santon, and originally I didn't even know if I wanted to go to Israel to study Hebrew or to do my degree. And I went to the Zionist Federation, and I just thought, let me see what programs they offer. And I spoke to Carmel Kravitz, and she explained what the Mechina was. And I thought, you know what? I think this sounds like a broad enough plan for me for the next year, where I can study Hebrew, take some academic courses, get some credits, and then I'll see from there, where do I want to go? What do I want to study, and where do I want to study? So I attended the summer Ulpan in, I think it was August of 2017, and I arrived in Israel with a level 3, a Gimel, and it took me about 2 months to go up another level, and eventually I joined the Mechina in the 4th level, and from there on I got to a level 6, and now I'm basically fluent in Hebrew, which is something I never would have imagined, but it happened, and I worked hard for it. And after the Mechina, I looked at I looked at all the different campuses that Hebrew had, and I also looked at other universities in Israel, but I was pretty sure that I was going to stay at Hebrew U. And I eventually settled on the Faculty of Agriculture, Fakulta Lechaklaut, which is in Rehovot, and that's Hebrew U's 4th campus. And now I'm in my 2nd year studying biochemistry and food science, and it's hard work. It's very hard being a South African studying in Hebrew, but it's really, really worth it, because in the end, you realize how far you've come, and you realize that you're studying with native Israelis. You're taking the same exams as them. Nothing's easier for you, and you challenge yourself, and I'm getting a top-notch education from a really, really good, well-renowned university. So I'm glad I made this decision. I had many doubts when I was in the Mechina, because it is hard. It's very hard, and that's why a lot of students from around the world are a bit reluctant to carry on studying in Hebrew. But at the end of the day, it's all proportional to how much work you put in and how badly you want it, and how badly you want to integrate into Israeli society and become part of that. So that's my experience.
Thank you so
Lovely.
much.
Thank you.
Pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you. Do you want to give us a little bit, Leah, maybe like a few minutes or a minute or so, just to tell us what is a day in the life like of a student in Israel?
Yes. So in Rehovot, I decided to rent an apartment. I could have gone and stayed in the student dormitory, but I decided that I want to integrate more. found an apartment. I live with 2 other Israeli girls that go to the university with me. I found them through Facebook. I knew no one in Rehovot. So I literally went onto Facebook and typed in Dirot leStudentim, like apartments for students. And I looked for ads where I could go and find a new home. And I moved to Rehovot. And this is what a typical day is. I get up. My classes are usually from 8 o'clock until sometimes even 6 o'clock in the evening. So it's a really intensive course that I'm taking. And I have a lot of classes during the day. Other than that, my lectures, they range from 2 to 4 hours. And between that time, I sit with my friends, socialize a bit. And for me, exercise is mandatory. There's an amazing gym on campus. And I have a running club that I'm the head of at the Faculty of Agriculture. So I make sure that I have my academic side and my sports side together with me. They're very important, and that's what keeps me balanced. And yeah, I mean, for people going into first year, especially people going into a BSc, they have to understand that, I mean, it's anywhere in the world, it's going to be very demanding. But in Israel, you have to get used to the fact that you're going to be, in your first year, you're going to be talking, socializing, functioning in Hebrew only. And it's going to be overwhelming. It was super overwhelming for me in my first week of university last year. I remember thinking, how am I going to do this? Like, I did the Mechina, I feel like I can speak Hebrew. And you get put into the real deal, which is a place, a campus like the Faculty of Agriculture, where there's not a lot of international students. And that's the place where you actually can thrive, because you don't take any easy steps. You function just like an Israeli. So
amazing. Amazing, Leah, and good luck for you for the future. It sounds amazing. You've pulled through the difficult part, it sounds like, and you're doing well. Good
Thank
for
you.
you. Thank you. Thank you, Mimi.
My pleasure.
Is there anything else you would like to add before we carry on?
Can I just
No.
add?
Sure, of course.
So, hi everyone, I'm Carmel Kravitz, and I just want to really thank Livna. Thank you for organizing this event. Thank you, Mimi and Leah, and all of the other universities for presenting. It really is a privilege for us here in South Africa to be able to get exposed to the incredible universities that are in Israel. So thank you. And just to let you know that Hebrew U does have an office in Johannesburg. We are present here. We do go to the schools. We're always around, and we have direct contact with Mimi and the Rothberg School and the Hebrew U, and we're here to assist you at all times. I'm going to leave my email address in the chat, and please feel free to email any questions, and we will help you as best as we can. Thanks, Livna, for her.
Thank you,
And that was exactly what I wanted to say, that we're very available for the South African students, and they should use us and call us. We have a South African office, and we have a in Israel, and we have in Eilat and in Rehovot, and you name it. So come. And thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much for all of you. I would like to call up Shira Snag from Tel Aviv University. Shira, are you with us? Hi.
Yes, I am. Hi, everyone. So yes, my name is Shira. I work at Tel Aviv University International. So that's where we offer over 60 programs entirely in English. Some of them are Hebrew or other language acquisition programs. But let's first talk about Tel Aviv University. And I also do have a couple of students, Betsy and Shana, here with me. So I do want to give them the stage as well after I give a little bit of an intro. So Tel Aviv University, we would love to have you join us. We have a community of 30,000 students each year. About 2,000, 3,000 of them are international students like yourselves. So it's a very diverse campus and very diverse communities of thought in the classroom, in the hallways, in the cafeterias, and right here at Tel Aviv. So you get to also get that multi-cultural experience right when you step off campus. and go to the beach, go to the cafes, the museums, and so on. It's also the home of innovation ways, the 3D printing of the heart, world-renowned people like Ilan Ramon, the first Israeli astronaut, the creators of the award-winning series Homeland, and so on and so on. So we have about 125 schools and departments and people from 100+ countries. The really lovely thing that I love about Tau and that you feel around campus is that even though you might be in your own specialized program, people really embrace the intersectionality and interdisciplinarity of the of research, of knowledge, and so you might find really cool discoveries. And so we say that we are a place of nonstop discovery, just like Tel Aviv is a nonstop city. So if you're kind of thinking, I'm not quite sure what to do after high school, we do have an academic gap program. You can do it for a semester or a year, take transferable study abroad courses. Those courses may be also transferred to our BA Liberal Arts program, a 3-year program with a range of majors and minors that you can choose from. We also have a BSc in Electrical and Electronics Engineering, and we partner with very wonderful partners in the industry like Samsung, Google, and so forth. Now, if you have any questions, you feel free to put them in the chat. I'll also put stuff in the chat myself. For master's programs, if that's where we're aiming, then we have over 17 programs, anything from law, cyber, Middle Eastern studies, and so forth, an MBA, conflict resolution and mediation, developing countries, teaching English to speakers of other languages. There's a range of programs. And we also have different types of study abroad programs. If you're currently in an institution pursuing your undergraduate degree, we have our general program. We have one where you can pair an internship, so you can also use that time to boost your CV. And specialized programs, again, in law, in medicine, you'll get to actually shadow doctors and EMTs in Israel, as well as take relevant courses. And one in business and entrepreneurship, where there's even project work based on channeling innovation in a company. So I can babble on, and I love talking about the opportunities here at Tel Aviv University, but like my colleague at Hebrew U said, what better way than hear it from 2 of our lovely students. So I'll start off with Shana, who did our study abroad and then actually transferred in. So the floor is yours.
Hi, I'm Shana. So last year I was in the University of Massachusetts, and I decided to study abroad in Israel because I was here earlier on Birthright and on Onward, and I really wanted to come back. I chose Tel Aviv University because I'm a business major, and the academic opportunities were amazing. Also, it's a really international school. Their study abroad and academic year and gap year program is really great. And I got here and I never wanted to leave. Like, I'm in the dorm right now. I can see the beach from my window. The people here are really open and accepting. Like, I'm friends with a lot of Israelis here, which is, I found kind of difficult in other places in Israel. I feel like at this university, they're really open to meeting new people. So halfway through last semester, I transferred in. I'm now a psychology major with an entrepreneurship minor. And something I really liked was they have like a lot of opportunities to actually go out and experience your major. Like, they have internship opportunities. I volunteered at Terem Clinic last year through one of my classes. So I got like credit for volunteering there. Terror Clinic is a clinic for the refugees. It's called the Refugee Clinic. It's actually for the asylum seekers because they don't have any rights in Israel, so they provide like the healthcare. So I worked in like the business aspect of that clinic, and yeah, that's my life.
Thanks so much. And Betsy?
Yeah. Can you see me and hear me? I'm not sure.
Yes, we got you.
Okay. Hi. I'm Betsy. I also just transferred to TAU this fall. I'm from Turkey originally, but I started university in London, England, UK, and I was studying business. I was a business major as well. But however, in UK, you can't really choose in different classes. You're just like it was specifically just business. So when I decided to transfer to TAU, you have so many different kinds of classes. I decided on a psychology major here, and I also minoring in digital communications. And I still counted all my business classes as well as a fourth track. We kind of have four tracks here, and then there's different majors you can choose as like philosophy, Jewish studies, and from different kinds of humanities you could choose. I just loved how we had the freedom to choose our own classes and build our own schedule. And the reason I chose Israel is because I've always wanted to come and live in Israel, and I just didn't know when. And since I had the opportunity, I had like two choices. I was either going to go back to Canada or Israel, and I have lots of family and friends here, so I decided to come here, and I'm loving it. It's the best place to study, live, just amazing. I love all my professors, all the people. Everyone is so friendly and accepting, and it's been amazing ever since. I'm so interested in all my classes and how it's taught here. There's smaller classes sizes, so it's you can talk more. Since before I was in the UK, it's like 300 people or something. It's not really a in-person class, so here we can like talk to the professors, and we can build better relationships. And yeah, I've really enjoyed the community here, and the atmosphere, and the campus is amazing too, and I'm looking really forward to continue my academic studies here. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much, Betsy and Shayna. I'll just go on the logistical part a little bit. So we have our application deadlines until the 31st of July, and confirmation is mid-August. And due to COVID, we have actually opened up scholarships up to $5,000. And, you know, Masa and other supports, Aliyah and so on, can definitely help. Also, I suggest that you look at the tuition price because it does differ by program. And any questions? So we always have an open digital and in-person, ideally, door.
Shira, can you talk about the acceptance? How does it work? Do you recognize the South African metric?
It can very much differ by program. So I would definitely message the program coordinator depending on the program. But the application itself, I will mention, is holistic. So if you look at our application portal, and that is quite across the board, is that we don't just look at your grades. We are asking for an essay. We want to get to know you. What is driving you here? We are asking for recommendations. At least one should be academic. There's two, but one can be professional. If you're volunteering, you're doing something extra. We want to get to know the holistic person because we know that that's what you're bringing here to TAU and to Israel.
Great, thank you so much, Shira, and I appreciate your time here. I was wondering if Mimi or Carmel can talk to us about the South African matric. in the acceptance in Hebrew U?
Yes, sure. Liron, you want to speak?
Go for it, Mimi.
No, I wanted to say that, first of all, I didn't mention that all tuition in the Hebrew U is, I don't want to say cheap because it cheapens the programs, but it is, because the tuition in the Hebrew University is under the Higher Education or Higher Council of Education. So it's like the Israelis pay, it's around 13,000 shekels. It's extremely not expensive, affordable, and we have two scholarships. Everything you guys heard today about scholarship applies to everyone. You have to look at the price of the original program in order to figure out how you live, what you do. Dorms are about $650 a month. That's something you need to take into consideration as well. It's also if you rent an apartment, it's plus minus around the same amount. Regarding the matric, so for the mechina, of course, we accept the matric. And if you want to be accepted to a first degree in Hebrew, they look at your grades of the mechina. So if you don't have a good matric, you actually have a better chance of getting and earning a first degree at the Hebrew U, which is very exclusive and based on your very hard work that you'll do in the preparatory course. And that's a huge plus, because maybe you'll want to study medicine or to be a pharmacist or a dentist or humanities or social sciences or computer science if you're a woman. It's about time we studied how to code. Then your chances increase if you do the preparatory course. Regarding study abroad, then we check your grades from your previous university. So again, there's nothing to do with the matric, and graduate studies are based on your first degree grades. So you're basically covered. So do well in your matrics, but we can help you with that. Liron, you want to add something?
I see a question here before we go on to Liron. Doron Habra is asking, how does the acceptance work if you already have an undergrad degree?
Okay, we're talking Hebrew U, right? So we check in what did you do the first degree, what was the average of your grades, and if you can continue automatically. It depends what you did first degree and what you want second degree. Sometimes there would be a personal interview. Let's say if you want to study business, we have an MBA 360 program for 1 year. We have a Melton educational second degree that you do 2 semesters online and 1 semester in Israel, which is also an amazing solution. It depends what you studied, how you did. Usually we look at the average of above 80, okay, like a B, I'm guessing, in the universities. And personal interview, why you want to study in Israel. As Shira said from Tel Aviv University, I think the registration process is pretty much the same for almost all of us. It's holistic. We look at who you are, what you studied, did you volunteer, what did you do in high school, where are you coming from, where are you aiming to go, what are your plans for the future, and maybe you need to do some prerequisites. It depends, but you get the full treatment. In the Hebrew U, because it's so big, we take the student that wants to be accepted, we help them in the first stages, and then we transfer them to the unit itself in order for the tipul, in order for the treatment of the candidate to be very personalized. Did I answer the question?
Jonathan, I see somebody's asking for you to post in the chat your email address again, please, Jonathan.
My email address is Jonathan, Jonathan.
Let me type it. Let me type it while you're writing. Jonathan.
Okay, it's Jonathan, Jonathan, as in Davis.
Yeah.
At idc.ac.il.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I just wanted to mention one thing. To the best of my knowledge, if you want to study pharmacy or medicine in Israel, you have to take a psychometric exam. It's not enough just to do a mechina. So I want you guys to realize that. I also want you guys to realize that the Technion has some fantastic engineering courses in English. I don't know, are they being represented here today?
They're not with us, unfortunately.
Okay, so if they're not with us today, I know that the Technion has some excellent courses in engineering that you can take, just like you can take engineering at the Tel Aviv University. And if you happen to want to do a BSc in electrical engineering or mechanical engineering at the Technion, you can do that. And you can get accepted into their English-speaking course. And I don't believe they'll make you take a psychometric for that, by the way. Okay?
Okay.
The other thing is,
yeah, sorry, carry on.
Oh, go ahead. No, the two things I want you to remember about IDC are all the courses that I mentioned, we teach in English, so that if your mother tongue is English, you can come and study in English without having to in any way kill yourself in Hebrew. On the other hand, while you're at IDC, you take a Hebrew ulpan, so by the time you graduate, you will have mastered the Hebrew language. Because on an intellectual basis, it's very, very hard, unless you have a good background in Hebrew, to master the Hebrew language. And so that's why some people come to IDC. I welcome everyone who has a good knowledge of Hebrew to go to all the other universities, get into medical school, get into pharmacy, do a BSc in all those other courses. But that's part of the reason I think that we have such a critical mass at IDC is that because the courses are in English and that it's easier.
Okay. Jonathan, sorry to interrupt. There's a question for you. Does IDC offer an actuarial science degree?
It does not. It does not offer actuarial science in English. It offers only a BA in business or business and economics or entrepreneurship and computer science or entrepreneurship and business. But we don't have something that actually teaches insurance. We don't have it. There aren't that many courses, by the way, in Israel to begin with, I think, that actually teach actuarial science. Certainly not in English. Certainly not in the English language. But it could be that in 5 years from now, a robot will be doing that job. So think in terms of studying maybe big data instead.
All right. I would like to invite Doron. Doron, have you got anything you would like to add?
Yeah, thank you. So as Jonathan mentioned, he spoke about the Technion. So part of SASE has been in an umbrella program for both the bursary and also for cultural activities. So we reached out to other academic institutions that provide degrees in English. So Jonathan mentioned the Technion. So there you can study, they have in English, you can study their engineering degree. And there we managed to negotiate up to 65% scholarship for South African students. Their tuition fees are around $15,000. So there's up to 65% scholarship available. The other academic institution is the Jerusalem College of Technology. It also has degrees in business and in computer science in English. And there the fees are 14,000 shekels, not dollars, but shekels. Like Bar Ilan and like Tel Aviv University, with their engineering degree, the fees were lowered to be the same level as the Israeli fees, 14,000 shekels. And then the last one I wanted to relate to is the College of Law and Business in Ramat Gan. And there's up to 100% scholarship available. It's approximately $10,000, and there you can study law, but there you can do 2 years in English, and the final year is in Hebrew, but their business degree is 3 years in English. So I wanted to mention those other institutions that are also available with English-speaking degrees. And the last thing I'd like to mention is medicine, because Jonathan spoke about medicine in English. So as Telfed is negotiating a a 7-year medical in English. We're still in the negotiation process, but please God, we hope for the next academic year, not this one coming probably, but the one after, that it will be ready. It'll be a 3-year bachelor's degree at Tel Aviv University, which will include the pre-med subjects that one needs to take, and that will be in English, and then followed by 4 years of medical studies in English at Ben Gurion University. So a total of 7 years of medical studies in English from beginning to end, and afterwards you come out with an internationally recognized medical degree. I'm just letting you guys know that that's in the making. It hasn't yet been finalized, but people will be coming around soon. So keep in touch with Telfed and keep it on our website. It'll be up there as soon as we get that partnership between Tel Aviv University and
Great, thank you, Doron. Does anybody have any other questions I would like to ask? I think that, yeah, okay. I just wanted to mention that you can speak to me about the Masa grant. There are automatic grants, so no need for financial proof. So my email is there and my contact details. You're welcome to contact me at any time. Doron, somebody asked if you can put your email address down, please, in the chat. Thank you.
Yes, I have already. It's there in the chat.
Okay.
If you look on the chat, my email is there already. I wrote it, but I'm happy to write it again.
If you can, please. Thank you very much. Any other questions anybody might have before we close off? All right. I think that's a wrap for today. Thank you very much, everybody. And thank you for joining me again. It's always a pleasure to have you all. And please God to many more of these. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All the best.
You,
Bye-bye.
Barilan,
Bye-bye.
IGC, Hebrew. Thank you. Bye, Telfed. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Well, Batzlacha. Good luck, everybody, with your studies.
Thank you. Batzlacha, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.